Hello, my name's Keith and I'm known as a Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about quartz. People are like, why you start your videos off like that? Because a little bit of passion will fire this video up, because I'm very excited to teach you about quartz. You ever think I just teach information? It's like, today I'm going to be talking about quartz. It's said to do this. I heard it does that. Online says, no. I'm a rebel when it comes to teaching crystal information, because I'm teaching you stuff I know myself. Little sneak peek, every one of my spacers is quartz. And I know some people are like, Florida Stone Man, your necklaces are not on perfectly straight. It looks like the planets, well, some of these are in retrograde, okay? So they're switching different positions. I sometimes keep the gemstones like this for fashion. Sometimes I do it for healing. So 2 labradorites are over my heart chakra, so when I switch it onto this side, it's more projecting those energies. But when you have a full necklace, it does both. So let's talk about quartz, because I'm giving you some information about quartz. Let's talk about the secrets of quartz. Do you know that quartz is actually one of the most powerful gemstones ever? Oh, I thought moldavite was the most powerful gemstone ever. What if I were to tell you moldavite can be replicated by quartz energetically? This is something that I'm gonna teach. I keep the gems later on in the videos. I have some really good gems in this video too. But especially what happens when you combine quartz and copper. Ooh, I'll talk about that later. But what happens, let's talk about quartz for a second. Quartz can mimic any crystal. Why is this? And quartz is the master gemstone. It's the most powerful crystal ever, but why aren't more people talking about quartz? Because 1, people don't know about it. 2, your intentions have to be pretty clear. 3, it's not so much 3, because 3 is, it depends where the quartz is from. Usually Brazil, the Himalayan mountains, etc. Himalayan mountain quartz it has a colder energy to it, so it's a little more slow. Brazil has more of a hot energy to it, so it's a little more quick. Really doesn't matter. It's like a 5% to 10% difference. So it's a small aspect about the land going into the actual gemstone. Oh, cool. Oh, awesome. Now, what am I saying about, because I'm gonna give you a major secret right off the bat. If you'd like to know if you should have moldavite, and this is the first time I'm ever teaching this, you guys better not, make sure you do not abuse it. So make sure you're asking the Most High God, please guide me during this exercise. If you want to find out what your life is like with moldavite, try this out. Like, cause some people are trying to get it for themselves first, and take a piece of quartz or a quartz bracelet that you got from FloridaStoneman.com, and 3 times a day, just say, this is moldavite. This is moldavite. It'll have the energy of moldavite. And it might shock some people, because some people are not supposed to get moldavite, but you want to test it out so bad that this can show you that it's moldavite. So when things start getting super crazy, you can start saying, this is not moldavite, this is not moldavite, and it'll make the intention go away. How can you do it at once? And it'll take like a month for this to fully go to that, because quartz is the most crystal clear gemstone ever. And I have quartz in my crown. Quartz, oh yeah, this is really good information too. Quartz is every chakra. It aligns every chakra. It's the most powerful gemstone for every chakra. It's actually known as the stone of heaven. One of the stones of heaven. One. Because the angels, if you ask an angel what's their favorite crystal, they're going to probably tell you quartz. I remember the first time I heard one of my angels say, because I asked several different angels, what's your favorite crystal? I'm going to say Metatron, Sandalphon. I'm talking all these different angels. I'm like, what's your favorite crystal? And they're like, quartz. I'm like, clear quartz? I'm like, what about sapphire? Quartz. I'm like, oh. And I didn't understand it. I'm like, why? It's like, it's for you to figure out. That's a part of your journey. I'm like, that's an angel answer. Thank you. So I'm like, why is quartz so strong? And as time goes on, I'm like, I've been finding out different secrets. You ever see why a Florida Stone Man necklace has quartz in between it? Why all my gemstones have quartz in between it? A very major secret is I actually have a sophisticated design for my crystals. If you take a piece of quartz and you sandwich it between a gemstone, you take the gemstone's energy and you make it about 100 times stronger. Let's just think about that. And I'm not exaggerating, 100 times stronger. So it'll make the gemstone 100 times stronger, whatever this is in between. So this is morganite and quartz. It makes this 100 times stronger. Why is that? It's because it's an amplifier. Let's just, okay, let me talk about this for a little. I'm gonna jump straight to it because I'm jumping into secrets here. The biggest just non-information ever on the internet, or the worst information I've ever heard on quartz, is it amplifies things. So I heard it amplifies negative energy. No, it doesn't. If you're a negative person, it's gonna show you that you're the problem, just to make you stop being the problem. Of course, people don't like that. So if you hear people say online, well, quartz is a gemstone, that I'm not going to use quartz because it can amplify the positive and it can amplify the negative. It brings clarity. So, and I'm not trying to be that person, but whoever had that piece of information obviously didn't have quartz. They didn't have any aspect of clarity. Whoever shared that, whoever came up with that, they had zero clarity, and they probably should have worked with quartz. Their demons said, don't work with quartz because it's gonna, and that's the thing, it's like, don't work with quartz because it'll amplify the negative energy. That person has demons around them, and the quartz would have gotten rid of the demons. And yes, I'm in public, so you'll see people here and there. So quartz is a master amplifier. Anything in this uses sphere grids too. Anything you put between quartz, it's stronger than copper as a spiritual conductor. So think about that. It's just like, so your gemstones can be doing 100 times more than they're already doing. Yeah, 100 times. 100. Copper, about 70. Physically, a lot more than quartz, but let's talk about copper and quartz. So what's the difference between, I heard copper was an amplifier. Physically, it's a physical amplifier. Quartz is better than an amplifier than copper is because it's a spiritual amplifier. What do I mean by physical and spiritual? Just that. I'm not getting into that. This is a spiritual video. Disclaimer. I will tell you a very big secret is if you use copper and you're using copper as like a conductor, it's good for physical things such as telekinesis. You get to physically move something. And yeah, that's exactly what I meant. I'm not teaching you guys how, but you can do it. Use quartz. Okay. Quartz and copper together is very good for opening telekinesis. I'm not talking about that anymore. I'm just not. I know what I can talk about. I know what I can't talk about. I'm not going to teach you guys how. It's out there. Let's just say it's very real and it's pretty easy. Okay? That's it. No more information on that. So when it comes to quartz and copper, when you take quartz and you put it in between copper, it makes it very strong. So then you have a spiritual conductor, a physical conductor. What's another conductor? Gold is a spiritual conductor. What's my spacers? Steel. Why do I use, and I'm explaining everything in this video because I'm covered in quartz from head to toe. If you look at all my spacers are quartz. Do you think, then just ask yourself, for someone who's been working with gemstones for so long, would I be wearing quartz? Would I cover myself with quartz for nothing? This is the most powerful gemstone I can say spiritually. Quartz is the master gemstone. But the thing about quartz is it takes some energy to tap into. So it takes some really, because for people who are like, hey, I just want to learn about spirituality one day, quartz is not for you. Well, quartz is for everyone. Yeah, quartz is probably more for that person than anyone. But the secrets behind quartz, the true power behind quartz, and the angels correct me. Yeah, quartz is for everyone. Yes. But that person should be using quartz more to have clarity. Most of the people who are having misconceptions about crystals, they need more clarity. So quartz is the ultimate gemstone. I'm gonna keep repeating that. You can turn with enough intention, you can make quartz into any crystal. What about that exercise I taught from earlier? You have a bracelet of clear quartz that you got from floridastoneman.com, and if you'd like a necklace from floridastoneman.com of all quartz, then I can do that as well. You just have to ask custom because I don't have a full necklace of clear quartz on floridastoneman.com until I release this video. But quartz is incredibly powerful. So what happens if you take a clear quartz ball and you leave it under the sunlight? It concentrates energies so it can catch things on fire. So spiritually the same thing. So quartz focuses energies into igniting whatever manifestation you want into this reality. Pretty cool. A quartz ball is good for opening clairvoyance. A quartz palm stone, I'm not a fan of palm stones unless you're putting them on your forehead. Quartz should be in every corner of your home. It'll increase the vibration of the whole home. Quartz next to anything amplifies it. So it amplifies it. So yes, manifestations will come to fruition with quartz. So quartz is the master gemstone because it brings so much clarity. It releases blockages, and it releases blockages on any chakra. It releases blockage on every single chakra. So actually the first gemstone I've ever used in this lifetime was quartz, and it freaked me out. I can tell you it freaked me out when I was very young, and I put quartz, and you might have a reaction to quartz actually. So take a piece of quartz as a bracelet and move it around to different sides of your body to find out where the blockage is, and you might feel a large feeling that you can never explain to anyone because it's an unblocker. It's intense. Quartz is intense, but it's very soft at the same time. What about quartz in spiritual defense? Quartz can be a means to... You can actually use quartz to reflect energies back even though it's not fully reflective. You can use quartz to... It has mirror energy spiritually, so you can create such an energy of focus on your enemy, which you don't really worry about your enemy, you just wear the quartz. So, again, there's planes flying over me. So, the plane's using quartz. Everything uses quartz. You're watching me on something that's using quartz. I'm not talking about the physical benefits of it. This is a spiritual video. So, anything that an enemy tries to send to you is amplified through the quartz and sent back for their healing. So, if that person did black magic on you and you have quartz, it goes inside the quartz and it goes back to them very heavily, very, very heavily. So it amplifies whatever someone does with you 100 times worse, and it hits them so much to the point where they get so scared at whatever they just did so they never try it again. Pretty cool. Quartz and copper. Quartz and copper. That's like a Brooklyn accent. No, I'm combining words here. Quartz and copper. I don't even know, that's a Brooklyn accent. Quartz and copper. When you use those two together, it's a very powerful conductor spiritually as well. Why do I use steel, by the way? Stealing quartz? Demons can't stand steel. They just... Ooh, I don't know, make a video about that. I'll definitely make a video about that. I found a list of things that demons hate. They hate the blood of Jesus. They hate... For some reason, they can't stand the smell of blood. Well, like the smell of the holy blood. For example, if that's a child of God, then the blood of Jesus covers them, so they get freaked out. So that's why, like, the red strings, they represent blood as well. People are like, oh, it's been around so much longer. It means something different in every culture, okay? For certain Karens, like, well, this means this here. Okay, cool. It means something different over here. It means something different everywhere. Okay, there's more than one culture. But I'm gonna teach you guys right now. Demons. That's really good information. Demons don't like the blood of Jesus, let alone blood if it's a person of God. They don't like to see that, like, any kind of blood emit or come to surface. They don't like to see that always. It kind of spooks them out if that person has the blood of Jesus covering them and in them. Now, if it's holy blood, basically. So demons don't like fire. I believe that's why God created the river of fire, so that in Judgment Day, he'll toss the demons in a place they cannot stand. Keep in mind, most of the demons are in the ocean. That's a little sneak peek as well. And these birds over here are catching cicadas. It's the coolest thing ever. You have the cicadas in the background. It's the cicadas. Why am I telling you what demons can't stand? It's because quartz is one of them. It's an amplifier. It makes so much clarity as to you actually know that a demon's around because you're using quartz, because it gives you psychic downloads, intuition, etc. So any kind of crystal you're using combined with quartz, it's 1,000,000 times stronger. Technically 100 times stronger. It's like leveled up. My designs on FloridaStoneman.com. If you've ever seen any of my necklaces, by the way, let me jump back to this point to finish the point. But steel, demons can't stand steel. Maybe it's because I don't know, like it binds demons for sure. I don't know how to say that in simpler terms. Versus basically in the book of Enoch, we can see that Raphael, all different angels buried the Watchers under the Euphrates River and coated them in iron and steel. They don't like it. They just don't like it. I'll talk more about that in future videos. I'll leave that as a surprise. But when it comes to quartz, you'll notice almost every single design on FloridaStoneman.com is between clear quartz. Blessed quartz, holy quartz, the blood of Jesus covers my gemstones to keep away demons. That's why when people use crystals from FloridaStoneman.com, they don't have the negative side effects that they have from other places. So people are like, I work black tourmaline and it gave me nightmares and made things worse. Well, who'd you get it from? Well, this person who's this witch from Michigan, and she had her entities. I'm not knocking what anyone's doing, but the person doesn't know what they're doing, and they're trying to bless your quartz with entities they don't even know themselves. The person doesn't know their own ancestors, but they're able to bless it with demons pretending to be. Okay, back to the subject. Quartz is just the master gemstone. If you like the best quartz ever, you can get it from FloridaStoneman.com. Knowing the secrets about quartz, I bless my quartz very differently. Last secret about quartz, because this video can get very long. Take quartz. I'm teaching you something really cool. Under the full moon, put it in a glass of water or a jar of water. Let the full moon's energies hit it for one night or just a couple hours under that night. This is such a good secret. Take the quartz out of the water, put it on your forehead. Ooh, the spiritual downloads that come through. You'll be hearing colors and smelling sounds. You'll see everything. You'll see prophecies. You'll see all these different things. It's so cool. It's so awesome. You can do it with the sunlight as well if you'd like to feel more happiness. Take the jar of water and put a clear quartz in it and put it under the sunlight. Put the quartz on top of there after it cools down. You'll feel so clear-headed. You'll feel sunny. You'll feel happy. It's because you channel the energy of the sun, you channel the energies of the moon. So many cool secrets. Make sure you guys get a necklace from FloridaStoneman.com. The way I bless my quartz is actually one of the ways as to how my gemstones are so strong. You can get the best crystals from FloridaStoneman.com, especially as a necklace. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ask your comments in the comment section. I've been answering them. Until then, ciao. Check out FloridaStoneman.com.